Hello and welcome to all my dear participants, dear students. Today we will learn about standard error of proportion and standard error of difference between two proportions. Last time we learned about standard error of mean and standard error of difference between two means. Just the difference between the two techniques. Previously we learned about means when we want to collect certain quantitative measurements like blood pressure, then we can say we are dealing with quantitative measurement, mean we are dealing with mean. While proportion indicates a qualitative measurement. So how many people suffering from tuberculosis? So we want to identify the prevalence of tuberculosis among population means we want to identify about proportion. So today we will begin with standard error proportion difference between two proportions. The objectives we will learn about standard error of proportion, in short is treated as SE and small p. We will find out about certain importance, various formulae. We will solve exercise based on the standard error of proportion. Nextly, we will consider the difference between two proportions, and notationally it is known as SE P1 minus P2. We will also learn about the importance in various formulas related to standard error of difference between two proportions. And lastly, we will solve exercises based on standard error difference between two proportions. The standard error of proportion may be defined as a unit that measures variation which occurs by chance in the proportion of positive character. Thus, the standard error of proportion may be from sample to sample, it may be from sample to population, or maybe vice versa, means from population to sample also in a qualitative data. So just I am repeating, when we deal with proportion means we are measuring the qualitative proportion of population or a particular parameter. Standard error of proportion is a measure of chance variation. So when we use the word error, should not try to think this is an error, but previously we learned about that standard error is a biological characteristics. So that is not a mistake but a biological variation. You can learn in a very simple way. Suppose in a class there are 40 students, out of them 20 were male and 20 found to be female. Now the two students of the same class with same sex, with same blood pressure, even after they do not have same hemoglobin level, they do not have the same body mass index, means across among all population you find a variation. So by using this variation we want to identify the variation is being normal, that is under normal distribution. So we use the standard error to measure the variation. The standard error proportion says that you can use the proportion to find the efficacy of a drug. We can also use this when we do a treatment of a patient. So line of treatment we can identify using standard error of proportion, or the part played by other causal factors. In the past, just for example, in the past 35% cases died in cholera epidemics, but 31% died in a new series in the year 1976. As per past experiences, it should have been 35%. Now you can see there is a difference of 4% in the population in cholera epidemic. So this four difference of 4% is how we can measure this, that may be due to better treatment, change in virulence, less susceptible population, or it was only by chance. So application and uses are proportion. To find the confidence limits of population proportion denoted by capital P when the sample proportion is known. Because in some cases we do find the sample proportion may or may not be observable or may not be available when we want to use it. So to determine when a sample is drawn from the known population or not, when the sample proportion is known. So there may be two conditions: when sample proportion is known and sample proportion may not be known. So probability of difference that is occurring by chance, or there is external factor working there, we can find out this using Z test, as we did in the case of mean. Previously we have seen when we identify the standard error of mean and difference between two means. So to find the size of sample when sample proportion is known. This is very important application of proportion when we want to identify or we want to conduct any research. At that time the size of sample to be determined is playing a key role while we conduct a research. So this is very important application of proportion to identify the sample size. So formula we use to know the standard error of proportion. As we did previously, we identify the standard error of mean by using very simple formula SD upon root n. Here the formula is square root of P into Q upon N, where P is the percentage of positive characters. Positive character indicates a person with disease, and Q the just alternate to that is known as negative character, or the person is free from disease. So this is with disease, positive cases. Q means the person from that same population, how many they are free from disease. So P percentage of positive characters, Q percentage of negative characters, and N are the numbers involved in the samples. So the formula is very simple to learn, as EP, the notation we are using. Sometimes we also use the small p here. So confidence limits. So 95% confidence limits are given by confidence limit equal to P plus minus 2 times standard error of proportion. Just the same we did when we calculated for the standard error of mean, where instead of P we are using mean x bar and SCP replaced by standard error of mean. The formula is same, just you have to replace the mean in place of standard proportion, vice versa when you use either standard error of mean or standard error of proportion. So upper confidence limit can be obtained using this positive part, means plus sign you use, upper confidence will be given, and when you use minus sign between these two, you can get the lower confidence limit of the proportion. So now we solve exercise 1. Write down. Find the limits which you would expect the population proportion to lie if you had examined records of all the 50 children of a school and found 23 had tonsillectomy done. Again, repeating, find the limits which you would expect the population proportion to lie if you had examined records of all the 50 children of a school and found 23 had tonsillectomy done. So the solution, positive character P is 23 here. In this question, you have to identify the limits. Means when we call about limits, generally we have to call the 95% limits of the proportion we have to identify here. So the positive character P given 23, and that is from out of 50 in among children the tonsillectomy among 23. So positive character 23. So we find out the proportion P 23 upon 50 into 100 will give the positive character, that is 46%. Now you have to identify about the Q. So here you have to identify two things, P, Q, and N is being given, that is 50. So P is 46%. Now you can identify Q by two methods. First you identify the negative character, means tonsillectomy done among 23 children out of 50. So that indicates 27 did not have tonsillectomy. So 27 negative character out of 50. You can identify the proportion for negative character Q. 27 upon 50 into 100 is equal to 54%. Or directly you can identify the Q. How? Just first you will calculate the same way, P proportion positive 46%. Now the total percent is 100. So when you subtract 100 from this 46, that will give 54%. So either of the method, either you can got by using this subtraction from the total, or directly from the percentage 100 minus this positive character, you will subtract, you can get the Q. So there are two methods, either of the any one you can get the Q, the complementary or the negative character. So the standard error given by the formula, standard error of P square root P into Q upon N. P we got 46%. So you will use 46 and Q found to be 54. The number of samples found to be 50. When you solve this, you will get 49.68. So that is 7 point approximately 05. So that is standard error of P 7.05. Either you can use the complete 7.05 or you can approximately 7 consider when you solve for confidence proportion. So 95% confidence limit or population proportion of tonsillectomy done can be solved by using the formula. So that is P plus minus 2 standard error of proportion. So approximately instead of 7.0 you can use 7. So that is sake of simplicity, you can easily calculate, because in examination you don't allow the calculator. So you have to count on finger or you mathematically solve yourself. So 2 into 7 14 plus 46, and the two limits can be either adding or subtracting, can be solved easily. So for upper confidence limit you can use this positive part, means plus sign you can use, that is 60%, and for lower confidence limit when you subtract 14 from 46, that will give 32. So it leads a conclusion that confidence proportion or limits are from 32% to 60% among children. Now we can solve one more exercise so that you can feel comfortable when you repeat the exercise same, or you can perform any other exercise at your home. So polymorph count was 350 out of 500 white blood cells. So 350 out of 500. At 95% confidence level, within what limits the population proportion will lie? Means you have to identify the upper confidence proportion and lower confidence proportion. 350 the positive character, number of samples are 500, so you can solve very easily. So again you can see and try to practice again when you get time. So the positive character is 350 out of 500 white blood cells. So the positive character or proportion 350 upon 500 into 100 equal to 70%. Similarly, the negative character, there are two methods I quoted in previous slides. Either you can subtract 350 from 500, that will be 150, that are negative characters from 500 WBCs, or directly you can subtract P from 100%, that is 30%. So there are two methods. Either you feel simple, you can use any of them. So directly you can subtract from 70 from 100, so that will give 30%. So negative character Q is 30%, that is 150 out of 500 WBCs. So after getting P and Q, you can replace the same in the formula of standard error of proportion, square root of P into Q upon N. So that is 70 the positive characteristic and 30 the negative characteristic or negative character, and sample size is 500. So 2100 upon 500, that is 21 upon 5, that 4.2 you can easily calculate on your finger, then approximately 2.05 the standard error of proportion. So now ultimately we have to calculate or get the 95% confidence proportion per WBCs or white blood cells. So we use the formula to calculate the confidence limits. Proportion plus minus 2 times standard error of proportion. This is for 95% confidence limits. You have to remember every time. For 95% we are using approximately 2 instead of 1.96. And if we required 99%, we use 2.58 instead of 2. So you have to remember the confidence limit as we discussed when we learned about normal probability distribution, where we discussed in detail about the confidence limits for 95%, for 68%, for 99%, and so on. So confidence limit 70 plus 2.20, an approximation of standard of P you can use. So we multiply this, product is 4. So 4 plus 70, that is 74, the positive limit, or you can say the upper confidence limit. So now break in two parts the confidence limits, 70 plus minus 4. So the plus part means algebraic sign plus, when you add this to get the upper limit, and the lower proportion or lower limit given by subtracting 70 from the 4. So the ultimately we conclude this, the confidence limits are from 66 to 74%. So I think now you are comfortable to solve the standard error of proportion. Now we come to the next topic, the standard error of difference between two proportions. The same we did for means. So the standard error of the difference between two proportions is calculated by this formula, because there are certain conditions when the proportion is known, or sometime we do find that the population proportion, same proportion is not given or is not provided. So the standard error of difference between two proportions defined by standard error of proportion P1 and minus P2. You can call it standard error of difference between two proportions P1 and P2 and is calculated by standard error of difference between P1 minus P2, P1 into Q1 upon N1 plus P2 into Q2 upon N2, where the P1 and Q1, the here P1 and P2 are the positive characters of group 1 and group 2, Q1, Q2 are the negative characters of the groups 1 and group 2. N1 and 2 are the sample sizes. So now sometime what happened, we can also find out the P and Q by their combined percentages. So it is simpler for calculation. So we can use this formula. Instead of that, is standard error of P1 minus P2 equal to PQ upon N1 plus PQ upon N2, where PQ is the combined percentage of positive and negative characters. So we can take out PQ here common, and you also write down as PQ of 1 upon N1 plus 1 upon N2, where this P and Q 100 minus P is known as the combined or pooled proportion or combined percentages. So we solve one exercise so that you can feel comfortable when there is a question in examination. So write down, if typhoid mortality in one sample of 100 is 20% and in another sample of 100 it is 30%. Find the standard error of difference between two proportions. Is the difference is mortality rate significant? Means ultimately we have to answer that the difference between the two proportions whether found to be significant or insignificant. So that indicates we have to conclude at the end by using z-test or directly using the standard error. I will show you when we solve the question. So you can identify here, these are two proportions for two groups, P1 20%, Q1 we can identify using 100 minus 20, the P2 30, you can identify the Q2 subtracting from 700 minus 30. So write down the P1 20 is being given, P2 30 is given. Directly the percentage is given, so no need to calculate the percentage here. So P1 20%, P2 30%, Q1 subtract this 20 from 100, 80%. Similarly, Q2 you subtract 30 from 100 will give the negative character for group 2. So these are the certain values we have to calculate. The sample size for both the groups 100 is being given here. So now we use the formula to solve the standard error. The sample size for the two groups is same. The formula standard error of difference between two proportions P1 and P2, P1 Q1 upon N1 plus P2 Q2 upon N2. So we replace this value, P1 is 20%, the negative part is 80%, P2 30%, Q2 70%, and the sample size in both the cases are 100. So we can take out common 100 and we can solve this. That is 16 plus 21, that is 37. So square root of 37 is 6.08. So calculations are so simple, you can easily calculate the standard error of two proportions. But according to the question, we have to answer the question is, now you can see this again, the previous slide, is the difference in mortality rate significant? We have to answer this question. Of course, we calculated the standard error of proportion that found to 6.08. So there are two methods to know the significance of mortality rates, the difference between the two mortality rates. So first, I will suggest if the observed difference between the two proportion is greater than 1.96, or you can consider it approximately 2 times the standard error of difference, it is called significant at 5% level of significance, or you can quote this like at 95% confidence level. The difference is significant. If value the difference between two proportions found to be twice the standard error. But one more condition, when we observe the difference between the two proportion is greater than 3 times the standard error of difference, is called as highly significant, or it is real variability in more than 99% cases, or we can also call this highly significant at 1% LOS, that indicates level of significance. So for 95% we have to use this first condition, for 99% or higher we use second condition. So now the first method we are using and interpreting, so how the proportion first is 20% and in second proportion was 30%. So difference between two proportion found to be 10, and we also calculated the standard error, that is 6 point something. So now just this 6 point, if suppose approximately 6, if you twice the 6, that is 12, that is greater than this 10. So this first condition do not tally here, and we observe the difference is less than twice time the standard error, that is 6.05. Means it is found to be 12, but this difference is 10 only, so that is not exceeded this 10. So therefore it is highlighted as statistically insignificant or not significant, because if that difference found to be 12 or more than 12, we can consider this is significant. So we find the difference between the two mortality rates found to be statistically not significant. So two proportional mortality rates is not significant. So now we can also conclude the same statement using z-test. So knowing the significance of the observed difference in mean, we use z-test given as z equal to p1 minus p2 divided by standard error of p1 minus p2. p1 is 20%, the positive characteristic of other group found to be 30%, and we calculated the standard error. So that is 6.05. So we observed that minus 10 upon 6.05, that is minus 1.64. But when we solve the value for z, we use the absolute value or mod value. I quoted in previous lectures, we use the absolute value of z, that with a negative sign converted into positive sign due to this mod value. So that is 1.64. And how we conclude that value found to be less than 1.96? So for 95% actually that confidence level found to be insignificant if the z value less than 1.96, or that also not critical level of significance, or that is not significant at 95%. So we calculated z value and found to 1.64, that is definitely less than 1.96. So we conclude it that is statistically insignificant or not significant mortality rates at 95% confidence limits. So we conclude it there is no significant difference between two mortality rates at 95% level of significance. So now for sake of simplicity, we solve one more exercise. Write down, in a school A, tonsillectomy had done in 23 students out of 50, while in the other school B, It was done in 77 out of 350 students. Find the difference observed in the two schools by chance or due to some influence. So here the positive character 23 out of 50 P1 we can calculate from this for school A, while for school B 77 out of 350. So we find our P1 with transitive 23 out of 50. So the positive character is 23 upon 15 to 100, the proportion P, that is 46%. By using P1, you subtract from 100, this 46 will give the Q1, the negative character. Or by using this total population 50, you subtract 23, that gives the negative character. We can use the 27 out of 50, that will give the Q1. Or directly we can subtract 46 from 100. So two methods, any of the method we can use. So 54% is Q1. Now for school B, the P2 77 out of 350. Therefore 77 upon 350 into 100 will give the positive character for group 2, that is 78%. We subtract from 100 this value will give the negative character for group 2 Q2, that is without translator, that is 78%. Now we have two values, again repeating the same, the 46% and 54% for group 1 and 78% and 22% P2, and sorry, this is there is some mistake here. So consider 700 minus 78, that is 22%. Please ignore this last line. Again repeating, that is 100 minus 78% equal to 22. So 22% the Q2 here. So the formula SC, or you can call it standard error of P1 minus P2, square root of P1 Q1 upon N1 plus P2 Q2 upon N2. The standard error 46 P1, Q1 54, 22 P1 and Q2 is 78 and 22. The sample sizes are 50 and 350. When you solve, you will get this 49.68 plus 4.90. You sum it, 54.5 at square root. When you get the square root, that is 7.39. Now, to observe the difference between the two schools is significant or not, because the statement is again repeating. The difference observed the two schools by chance are due to some influence. So this is the standard error 7.39. There are two methods. There are two methods to conclude it. So first, the observed difference between the two proportion is greater than 1.96. The standard error, it is significant at 5% LOS. But the difference found to be 3 times the standard error, it is known as highly significant or real variability in more than 99% cases. So now we found that the difference between the two proportion is 24, and the standard error found to be 6.65. So when you multiply this 6.655 into 3, that is 7 into 3 approximately 21. Now just this is less than 24. So that indicates that is highly significant, because the difference in proportion is more than the thrice of the standard error. So we consider it, the difference is highly significant between two proportion. So therefore we can also say tonsillectomy is more common in school A. The same we can identify using Z test. So knowing the significance of the observed difference in means, in means, instead of means we are using proportion, so correct it. So knowing the significance of the observed difference in proportion, we use Z test as Z equal to P1 minus P2 upon standard error P minus P2, P1 minus P2. So 46, the P1, the P2 22 divided by 6.55. Z equal to 24 upon 6.55. So when you divide these two quantities, you will get 3.7. So that is, when you take the mod value, again it is 3.7. So that is more than 1.96. So you can consider it significant in 95%, but the Z value is more than 2. So that indicates highly significant. So we conclude again using that test. The criteria is the calculated value much more than 1.96 at 95% level. So it is more high level of significance towards. So we can conclude the difference is highly significant in tonsillectomy rate and 99% confidence limit for schools and B. So thank you very much for patient listening. Be safe, stay home. Thank you very much and good day.